Howdy y'all, good morning. So this is going to be a quick one. I just wanted to pop on here and talk about how to become the Zen Master of Code. Coding is a creative endeavor. A lot of people think of it as similar to math or science, but the reason I enjoy coding so much is because of how creative it is. You have choices as far as language, you have choices as far as macros, functions. You know, you can write your own essay. As long as you portray the point accurately, you can write it any way you want, and that's great. However, it becomes really easy to then get attached to your code and take it personally if someone were to offer you advice or opinions about it. This comes up in code review. So it's something I've been thinking about a lot lately because it's something I fall victim to, and I think a lot of us do. You write your code and it's your baby. You get proud of it and you're happy with it. Then you put your baby up to the team and say, look how great she is. And hate to say it, but other people's babies, not usually so cute. And when we often get these opinions and criticisms from our coworkers or community members, it's really easy to take it personally. And I can't believe you said that about my baby. Look at her. She's beautiful. But we don't want to do that. I had somebody recently say to me that instead of taking ownership over their code, they instead tend to think of themselves as a stewardess of the code, that they are simply writing it for the purposes of passing it on to somebody else. And I think that's a really beautiful idea. And when we can adopt that into our minds, into our souls, and let that be a catalyst to let go of our pride and ego, we end up writing better code. It's very easy to fall into the traps of all the fun, tricky macros. I know that I'm a fan of, for example, con thread and let fun, and I fall into those ways of thinking. I like it. But sometimes those aren't the most idiomatic choices, and the things we need to keep in mind are trying to write the code that is going to portray the intent of the code as accurately as possible. And oftentimes, macros like conthread and letFun don't do that. Instead, they obfuscate what's really happening with the benefit of making you feel real slick. And I love feeling real slick, which is why I love using these macros. But it's something that I've been thinking about lately and really putting it in perspective that sometimes the best code is the simplest, most idiomatic code that is able to be passed down and understood by the most people and able to be debugged the most simply. So those are kind of the thoughts of the day. And I really want to advocate for what a sense of relief it becomes when you let go of your code as ownership or something that's yours. It's very, very freeing to then think of it as not your baby, but some other brat you're babysitting. Some other brat you're babysitting, you're more likely to listen to what other people have to say, and that's really important. So I hope that made sense, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Thanks for tuning in for this little lambda short.